We're working on a 2011 Camaro SS, and what we had here was a leak in the electric fuel pump module. The O-ring around the outside edge was leaking. So we checked with the GM dealer, and they wanted between $800 and $900 to drop the exhaust, the drive shaft, and the gas tank. And so we'd done a little research on it and decided that we were going to cut a hole through the we took out the back seat and cut a hole through the floor in the back seat, underneath the back seat, and gain access so we don't have to drop the gas tank. A few cautionary things here, being we had a leak and there was a lot of gas around the edges and stuff. We didn't want to use like a cutoff wheel with that would create sparks or anything like that. So we decided to drill a hole and use this is called a Gilson, like a hand shears, and I'm sure you could use an electric shears or a nibbler or anything like that too. But the main thing is you have to be very careful, because the gas tank is really close. You can hardly get your finger between the gas tank and the floorboard. So when you drill that initial hole, make sure that you have a depth indicator thing, so that you don't go down too far and drill into the gas tank. We cut a square hole here, but upon further thought about it, we probably should have just like rounded the edges, because the tank does indent right around this fuel pump module. So in retrospect, we would have probably just made a round circular hole around here, and then we just flipped the flap up like this. Anyway, took out the snap ring, pulled the fuel pump out, put a new one in, and put a new O-ring in, and hopefully that'll take care of our problem. But then upon putting this, flipping this door back down, you've got a gap in between there. So what I did was just took a few strips of 1-inch sheet metal and carefully riveted it all the way around here. And now what I'll do is I'll just take some of the strip caulking, lay it in here, flip the door back down, and that'll seal it off, and maybe a little caulking around the edges, and we're done. So I guess I was going to give you a measurement. If you go to this little plug accent here, where the access hole, where the wires go through, that'll kind of give you a guide of where you have to cut and stuff. So go right up next against that, and go about 8 inches front to rear, and then about 7 inches side to side. And that'll give you a big enough hole, and you won't cut into the gas tank. Don't use a saber saw or anything, because you're gonna cut through into the gas tank if you do that. So you have to use some kind of a little shears or something like what I used here. Otherwise, you'll create a bigger problem than what you have. That should do it. I hope this helps you guys out.